Alright, we will be doing chapter 8 as an additional notes for business studies, recruitment, selection, and training of employees. Okay, let's get started. Alright, the first slide, the difference between internal and external recruitment. Okay, let's go through cost issue. The first difference, cost issue. Internal recruitment likely to be quicker and cheaper because it's internally done. Okay, vacancy are being provided to the workers in the organization itself. Okay, they can apply the position because they want to promote themselves, they want to enhance their career, or they want to have changes in their job scope. The next importance is the business will have another person's job to replace. That could be disadvantages. External recruitment, the cost issues would be likely to be more expensive to recruit because the cost of advertising is expensive and induction training also needed. So time taken and to retrain them, it's costly. Next would be familiarization. Okay, for internal recruitment, employees already know how business operates. So they already know the nature of business, what's the background, what's the main function of the business, and so on. But in terms of familiarization for external recruitment, takes time to learn how the business works. So the candidate itself, the person who are being recruited, actually need time to actually understand the job scope, the environment, the background of the company, and so on. Next one is the choice of candidate. Okay, for internal recruitment, it's limited choice. Okay, because they don't have other options. They only have their own workers, and existing employees will not have right skills. So because if the position is higher, they have to be retrained again. Okay, in terms of technology, skills, and understanding. But apart from that, for external recruitment, they have more wider choices because a lot of workers are being interviewed, and from there they select the best, and then helps bring new ideas, skills, and experience to the business. All right, next one would be the impact on other employees. It depends because for internal recruitment, it depends because can motivate or lead to jealousy, argument, conflict may arise, okay, between the employees. And then external recruitment can cause resentment of internal candidate feels overlooked, okay, so they found it like resentment and so on, right? Meaning that they might be treated unfairly, resentment, okay. Next slide, looking at the benefits and limitation of part-time and full-time workers. Most employees have a contract which sets out the number of hours they usually work. Usually the full-time workers, they can work 8 hours and above. Each time they work extra, it's considered overtime, and they will pay that hourly. And then part-time workers usually paid hourly, okay. And part-time workers usually they get wages, and full-time workers they get salary, which is paid monthly. All right, so full-time workers will have higher of working hours compared to part-time workers. Now, what's the benefit of hiring part-time workers? It's more flexible because they can help at busy times, keep experienced employees as they can fit work around other commitments. More cost effective as the business need only pay when the work is required. So during the busy time, they can hire them. It's more cost effective, okay, and the workers have more flexible. They can work even in weekdays, weekends, after office hours where they require more manpower to work on. Looking at the full-time workers, more commitment to business, likely to be better trained, better quality service possible, fewer people to train. Okay, looking at the limitation, additional recruitment costs for the part-time, because you need to advertise, okay, retrain them, communication issues, because you can't be seeing them every day, and the time that they are working is odd hours, okay, not as easy to coordinate operations. And then, are they committed to the business? Unlike full-time workers, it's more expensive because labor costs and less flexible. They only can work for 8 hours, and if required, they have to be paid overtime. Next, looking at the difference between on the job and off the job training. Okay, what's the definition? On the job is employees learn job specific skills while working in the organization itself. Off the job, employees learn skills away from the actual work location. It can be somewhere in a different place, okay, venue of working. Next one, location of the job, like what I told you just now, the training at workplace, and off the job is away from the workplace. Method of learning: on the job by doing real work, but off the job gain knowledge or practice. Okay, trainer, for on the job, experienced employees will be training them, unlike off the job, experts and specialists of the entire field will actually be training them. Okay, they might train something which is not related to the actual work, but in terms of developing skills and performance, they will actually train them better. Next, retail costs for the company for conducting training. On the job is inexpensive because save costs, and then off the job is more expensive because material will has to be paid, trainer and location itself. Next, output during the training. On the job slows down the work of the trainer, but off the job full focus during the training as none of the employees are distracted with work. Okay, next one, quality issues. Mistakes can damage quality and image, and off the job, higher quality of training possible. Next one, downsizing the workforce. What's downsizing? Okay, there are times when the business will need to reduce the number of employees. They have to cut down costs. Okay, the cost. So due to that, they actually downsize. So in such situation, a business need to decide who to make redundant, whose job is no longer needed. Okay. Now, reason to downsize: automation. Maybe it took over by technology. That means there's not much people, manpower are required. Next, closure of the site. The whole site is being closed down. Okay. Next, relocation to a different place, different state maybe. Okay, completely different location. Merger, they joint venture, okay, or they merged with another company. Changes in market demand. Okay, due to market demand, they change the entire management of their controlling of production and so on, and reduce costs. That's the main thing. Yeah. Now next is the factors to consider: identifying which jobs are not essential, no longer needed, performance or experience and skills. They can either choose first in first out or last in first out. Okay, the wages and salary, they try to cut down those two. Length of service, cause of redundancy. Okay, and then attitude, attendance, disciplinary record, they will review all those. Other issues, for example, also close to retirement, they will ask them to leave. Okay, definitely they will pay you. Okay, but at the same time, the work is no longer needed, so the company has no choice to decide this downsizing method. Now looking at the legal control over employee. Okay, first thing, a successful business need to uh, have good relationship, okay, between employers and employees. Okay, it is a balancing act as each group wants different things. So the law exists to ensure fair treatment of employees. Businesses cannot avoid laws, so they could face legal action. So this will actually increase business costs. So what is the minimum wage laws they have? Each country has their own limitation of minimum wage. Yeah? So guarantees all employees have a basic amount for each hour worked or output produced. Employee contract states the terms of the job and what to do if there are any problems occur. So this can be used to help resolve disagreement. And then they have protection against discrimination, ensures that employees are not unfairly treated because of their gender, race, or any physical disabilities. Then followed by health and safety, they provide minimum standards of safe working condition to the workers. Okay, next, looking at how health and safety law affects business. Okay, example of business and safety laws. You have to have minimum hours of work, which might need to recruit more employees to ensure that production is finished, and offer overtime payments or introduce breaks, okay, pay them extra allowance and so on. Then protection from dangerous machineries, adding guaranteed to equipment or providing extra training, provision of safety equipment and clothing, providing harnesses, goggles, safety helmets, clothing, apron, face mask, gloves, and so on. Then lighting and heating, installing extra heaters or fans or extra lighting into building. Then followed by basic hygiene facilities, installing extra toilet or washing facilities, provide water dispenser for the workers. Why would And the last slide here, it talks about the law may not always help employees. Why? Because many businesses always pays above minimum wages. But to reduce costs, a business might relocate to another country or change its production method. Job might be at risk. So laws do not really help because they have their situation. Okay, so they had decided and they had no choice. Employees' hours could be restricted. The limit, the time they can earn. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.